We are reviewing the movie.
And then we ask each other whether or not we liked it or not, and why we liked it. So, would you watch it again? I don't know, maybe. Would you watch it again? Yeah, sounds like an interview to me. What are the key points that you think you had problems with? It sounds like an interview.
Why, that's why we put them on the bulletin list.
Let's start the interview.
Oh my goodness.
I'm Sonic, a little ball of super energy in an extremely handsome package.
The amount of scowling you're giving me right now, I think you should save that for the ending of the movie, don't you?
Oh my goodness. What movie?
The one and only Sonic the movie.
This is a terrible intro.
Just be natural with it.
Well, hello everybody. It is Nate and Shen bringing you guys a review. Now, we had gone to see the Sonic movie back on the opening weekend, right? We saw it on Saturday?
Saw it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah. Impromptu, we went to go see it, and then this video was supposed to be done like, how long ago?
Probably literally the weekend that it was seen. Thank God for those theaters in New York, you know? Stay open till like 1 in the morning. You can go see Sonic. Question what you're doing with your life after leaving a restaurant and go see Sonic.
Hey, listen. When we went to go see Sonic, that theater was packed and it was full of kids.
Yep, it was.
Straight from the title, Sonic was a good movie. It was not bad. It was actually really good.
Coming from this guy, it is a very, very surprising thing that he said this movie was good. He gave it a solid 7 out of 10.
That's crazy. We're not even in the ratings yet, but okay.
They have to know. They have to know what kind of person you are. He's a very shrewd critic. So for him to like this movie and want me to go see it, it was surprising.
She's just upset that I didn't like Godzilla. Basic overview. What were your thoughts on the Sonic movie?
I thought it was a pretty good movie, considering the fact that I'm gonna say it, I'm not really the biggest Sonic fan.
But you gotta go fast.
Oh my gosh, I'm not really the biggest Sonic fan. It wasn't really a show I watched that frequently growing up, so this movie really did capture me. I have to give it all to Ryan Reynolds.
So you tell me you never played the game. Also, it is not Ryan Reynolds who voiced Sonic.
Who voiced Sonic this time?
Ooh. Voice Sonic. Ben Schwartz.
Honestly thought Ryan Reynolds was the one voicing Sonic.
No. He was, but then he wasn't.
That's weird. But he still brought his own.
Okay. So, you telling me you never played any of the Sonic games?
Nope. Never played the games, never saw the movie, never even had a single piece of Sonic merchandise, and don't even get me started on DeviantArt. You know who you are.
So you never even seen people, like, play through the game? You haven't ever seen somebody play through Shadow the Hedgehog?
Oh, believe me, yes I have. I've not only seen them play through it, I've also seen the game quit on them at the same time. Shout out to the best friends who tried to play that game, and the game just quit on them. They wanted to give up, but the game wanted it more.
From my point of view, I liked it. It was good. It was very passable for a movie. If you're oversaturated yourself with a bunch of buddy cop movies, probably not the best movie for you, because the movie's very safe in what it does. All of what it does is very safe. What are you doing?
Oh, am I interrupting?
If the mic can pick that up, I'm keeping it in. It was a very safe movie, I'll give it that, and aside from just being safe, it was really funny. There were a lot of things that I thought could have been changed and altered, but we'll get to that later. Story. What do you thought of the story?
I thought the story was very nice. It was very heartwarming. Like you said before, safe, definitely. But, gotta give it to my favorite character right now, Eggman. He had some serious mean girl energy that he just brought to the movie. Every moment he was on screen was just the perfect moment. he resonates with me. I'm gonna say he's my spirit animal. He's just the best character next to Sonic on that set.
Nice to know you're one of the few people who actually like Jim Carrey in all of his roles. Yeah, Eggman. Well, Dr. Robotnik, aka Eggman, they did make a reference to it. One of the better characters. He was pretty well developed. A lot of the characters were developed. Story itself, it was okay. Not the best. It was safe, but a lot of points that really could have been fixed. Any highlights for you?
Let's see now.
I can think of a couple of points that you really enjoyed when we were watching it.
Well, seeing as how this is going to go into spoiler territory, but since you're listening to this, it's probably not going to matter. There were moments, once again, by Eggman, where he just brought up the greatest lines. I remember the chase scene that happened where they were on the highway, and his robots just kept breaking down into smaller robots, Sonic and the other guy, visibly annoyed, and you just hear Eggman make this really hilarious comment, "Ever wonder where your tax dollars are going?" And it was just the most wonderful moment at that time. It just made the whole movie that much better.
I'm surprised you chose that one, because for me, I thought it was you with the collateral damage line.
That was mostly you.
No, that was you.
That was mostly you. You couldn't believe he said that. That was mostly you. The tax dollars one got me. But you got that.
Yeah. Alright. And that's highlights. So now we jump straight into issues. You want to go first on this, since I have a small list here? What's yours?
Oh, you have a list of your issues. So many issues. Before I give the issues, I will say the animation was beautifully done. Yeah, there were parts where it seemed like the animation could have been a little better, especially when it comes to the explosions and the
explosions?
Some parts of the explosions, yeah. Well, like when he was fighting the machines. The very end. The explosions. But I have to say, for me, watching the movie, it had to be the scenes where Sonic wasn't really involved with a whole lot of action, and it was mostly focusing on, I'm guessing, the B tier kind of scenery, where it was the guy's wife and her family and everything going over on the sidelines there.
What? You really didn't like that?
No, I liked it, but it's just, it felt weird and kind of like they had to shoehorn that in. I mean, if you cut out the part where they had to stay over at the aunt's house, I think that, like, it probably would have still worked. They could have been literally anywhere else.
I don't know. I mean, that kind of carried the story a little. Not much, but it helped, like, support a couple of reasons, like, why was she away from him when all this was going down? Why was she out of the loop?
Well, that's true, but you didn't have to go to the house and spend all that time there.
There wasn't a lot of time there anyways. I mean, one of the scenes that I personally felt was shoehorned in was it's the one and only time where we see the government officials in the entire movie, like, at the Pentagon.
Yeah.
That scene was just, oh my goodness.
I will agree.
You literally could have cut that out, and again, one of the fixes that I have for this thing was, like, you don't need them at the meeting. You could literally you could literally have an A and B conversation with Commander General and with one of the guys who was there, just at the water cooler, doing that whole entire conversation just between themselves, and it would have flowed a lot better. Because you did not need 8 people just for that.
That's true. I also felt that was a little bit... I don't even know what that scene was. I guess to establish that Dr. Robotnik really was this crazy guy, and maybe to set up a little bit of early comedic relief. But yeah, that scene doesn't need to be there. I mean, the army scene after that would have been perfect enough to just establish what kind of a character Robotnik was when he showed up on the base.
Well, that's another one of the scenes that I felt like it was a good scene, but it went on just a little bit too long.
It did. The jokes were long, drawn out. Could have just been done in less than a minute.
Like, probably the best part about that whole part was just Robotnik saying, "Nobody cares."
My favorite part from that is basically when he said, which is true in a way, that robots could do their job a whole lot better because they're obedient and they do what they say.
Yeah, but like again, the whole point leading up to that, you didn't really need that. Like I get, and I remember hearing this, I forgot where, but like they did a lot of repetition because yeah, it's a kids film, but again, you don't need to drive it that hard. It was pretty established. Like after the first and then the second time should have been the last one. We didn't need like 3 to 4 times.
That's true.
My next major issue with the whole thing, like this is my biggest issue with the entire movie, was the entire barf sequence. We did not need that.
I know we didn't need the bar
we
fight
didn't
scene,
need it.
but you wanted
They're being
something
hunted
there.
by a top government agent, and you're telling me that Robotnik can't send a drone out to find them, and that they have enough time to spend 3 hours at some local back-end bar?
I mean, yeah, but again, this is for kids. You
You didn't need that!
You want to be able to show
You
all
need
the
to keep
funny
the
stuff.
agency.
You
We
wanna
lost all
show
sense of
all the
agency
funny
in that
things.
section.
All the funny things that Sonic could do in the time
You
that it
could have
takes
done
to
that anywhere else.
I mean, yeah, but this is his movie.
We
And
didn't
he
need
had-
it at the bar scene.
But the bar scene was what made it.
No,
Yes.
no. I say that's what actually ruins it because it destroys any sense of agency. The chase feels like it's non-existent. They had just been tracked down by a giant machine robot.
Yeah.
No, wait. No, this is before that.
I mean, before that, they had essentially their location hadn't been discovered,
Yeah, but that's the dumb part.
but Robotnik did find his way into the police agency,
Yeah.
and he was basically
But
right
that's what I mean.
there.
Why did you need to do that? Like, that scene makes no sense. You have a guy who has the entire US military behind him, plus more, and you literally limit him to waiting inside the police booth just for a phone call from a payphone. You're telling me he couldn't have sent a drone out to go track them down when they literally left 5 minutes ago?
Oh yeah, he totally could have, but wouldn't have been efficient. To
You
the plot.
could have had a far better chase
We are
scene.
trying to establish a bonding moment between Sonic and the guy. That
You
is the
don't
only
need-
reason.
You could have had the full chase scene. They establish their relationship while running away, and then when they get to the city, you get to deepen it more. We did not need to have the bar fight scene, which, by the way, I did double check it because I kept hearing people say it. It's almost a complete ripoff of the Quicksilver moment in X-Men.
Didn't get to see that movie. Can't say whether or not that's truly valid, but it was an enjoyable scene for quite a few people.
It was not needed!
It might not have been needed, but a lot of other things aren't needed in movies that are kept, and it's still enjoyable to people. If this is a movie that's for everyone, why don't you just let people have their fun? It's not just made for you.
You didn't need it! You could have literally done the same thing elsewhere!
I mean, yeah, you could have, but they didn't in this movie.
Which actually, that's the second point that I need to bring. Oh, and the computer's crashing on us. Good thing we're recording off of the mic. How fast is Sonic? Okay, so when we were at the Seattle Tower, that point made sense because everything was still moving, it was just a lot slower. In the bar fight, everything's frozen. Sonic is not that fast.
He's faster than the naked eye, man. He's faster than the naked eye. He's the
A
fastest
lot
thing
of
alive.
things are faster than the naked eye, but nothing is... But he's not fast enough where everything is frozen still.
Isn't he supposed to be faster than the speed of light?
Speed is sound.
Oh yeah, speed of sound.
Try to kiss that jogger around. That sells a situation. Is there any explanation? Go fast, go fast.
No. The amount of scowling that I'm giving right now.
She's not giving me any. But, okay. So, like, yeah, he's fast, but he's not to the point where everything's still. That's why I like the Seattle sequence, because you see everything still moving, but just very slowly. And then that brings into, like, the second point where in the city, you see Robotnik's chasing down Sonic, and explosions are going off in real time. Either everything is slow, or you're having explosions just... I don't know. The explosions kind of annoyed me at the timing that they were. They should have been, like, slowed down. Yeah, we have the initial impact, but then they slowed down compared to everything else.
That's true. I also tried to question that, but so much was going on the screen that I didn't have time to question it. Like when Sonic pushed both the guy and his wife off of the building, and he was running to catch them, and you also saw Robotnik's missiles chasing after him as he was running down, things exploding all around. I think those explosions were happening in real time, which kind of didn't make sense. They weren't slowed down, but at the same time, I guess the reason why that was because he had Sonic's hair, and that was what was allowing him to basically ignore everything else around him going slow, and that's probably the only reason.
That was the idea, which is another point that I kind of have, but finish your thought.
I think I'm pretty much done. He had Sonic's hair, and that's literally the only thing that I can get out of why he was not only able to keep up with Sonic, as Sonic kept using rings and going into different areas while he was being chased by Robotnik, but also why Robotnik was seemingly able to be immune to everything going on around him, as Sonic's speed was apparently so fast that other things were either completely stopped or going in slow motion. So essentially only he and Robotnik were the ones moving at not regular speed, but at Sonic speed. Don't. Unintentional pun.
They went at Sonic speed. Yeah, that's one of the things that, like, bothered me a little bit. The movie makes Sonic a lot stronger than what I believe he actually is. Like, yes, he's fast, but I don't think he was strong at any point in time. And that's another point where it's like, Robotnik just needed a hair of Sonic. I don't think it worked that way.
Not usually. I don't even exactly know if the movie was trying to follow any one particular version of Sonic from the universe. They tried to pull from each different thing something from that particular Sonic universe and put it together, but then they added their own thing around the end. I don't ever think that there was there ever a bar fight scene in any of the Sonic universes?
No, that's just a movie thing. What are you talking about?
You're talking to a person who doesn't know that much about Sonic. I have to ask these questions.
So are you saying
I'm
that they're including everything from different universes?
But then I said that they added their own thing.
But it's all their own thing.
The whole movie can't be their own thing, because there were references pulled from other things.
References don't mean anything.
And plus, how do references not mean anything? Sonic's rings? Instead of the Chaos Emeralds?
That's something else. That's another point. You're reading ahead of the points.
There are no points here. I don't see the Chaos Emeralds mentioned here.
Yeah, they are, right here.
Oh yeah, Chaos Emeralds. Heh.
See, we have a bulletin list, and that's why you read the bulletin list to know what we're
called
talking about.
ad-libbing, and I am trying my hardest.
You don't ad-lib with a review! Well, we kinda do. It's just that. I know there's two ways how they could have done it, where either the rings give Sonic his powers, or the Chaos Emeralds give Sonic his powers. They didn't do that here in this movie, which kind of felt a little off. That's why I have the Chaos Emeralds written here, where one of the major things that I think they should have fixed was that they were hunting Sonic not for his powers, but rather for the Chaos Emeralds, and he has the ability to control them. Which actually would have made a lot more sense than just, oh, they want you, Sonic.
But they wanted him because he was fast enough to cause a nationwide blackout. That's what triggered it.
No,
in
but
the
that
first
doesn't
place.
make sense because Sonic himself doesn't have that type of power.
In the movie, he did. In every other universe, he didn't. And
Right,
also,
and that's what I'm saying. The only times he has that power is when he has the Chaos Emeralds, or if, depending on certain versions, he uses the rings.
But in this, it doesn't really seem like the rings gave him the power to do anything. What they did, well, the only power that it gave him was literally the power to flee. It didn't really give him a power up from having the rings. The rings were gifted to him by the owl who was looking out for him. And they were supposed to be used in an emergency in case something happened to the planet he was on, so that he could escape.
Right, but that's why it's a lot of wasted potential.
Yeah, those are the only. That's the only quote unquote power that he had.
That's what I'm saying.
To
and
run away.
Especially with the ending scene, not the secret ending scene, the ending scene, where it's like they did the whole power of friendship is powerful thing, and that killed it for me. That killed the buzz. It's like, yeah, I get it, it's a kids movie, but they pulled the power of friendship scene, which made no sense. There was no context for it.
There was context.
No!
There was.
No! What? That he wanted a friend?
Essentially, that's the only thing Sonic never had.
Power!
Well, of course, coming from someone who doesn't have that many would be understanding.
How dare you?
You wouldn't understand.
Okay, so
power
basically,
friendship.
they pull. And I'm gonna quote you guys all on this because you guys always get at me for okay, so they get at me for liking Fairy Tail because they keep pulling this friendship as power. They did the exact same thing in the Sonic movie, and you know what they all said? Yo, this was dope. No, that made no sense.
I don't watch Fairy Tail, but I do watch My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. They have taught me friendship is the most magical thing. I listen to them because they are right, alright? Look at them. Look at how powerful their magic was. They went Super Saiyan in one of the seasons, okay? They know what friendship is. It's magic, and that's what Sonic had. He can't help that. All right, this boy over here is just ignoring the facts.
That's why it ruins it.
Oh wow, friendship ruins something coming from the critics. So shameful. Power
it
friendship.
No sense.
Friendship doesn't have to make sense.
The power up from it doesn't make sense.
Sometimes all you need is that one push
and see,
to help save
that's
the
what I'm
world.
saying. If you had the Chaos Emeralds, because the moment when whatever his name is gets on the back of the ship, and knocks Eggman around, you could have knocked a Chaos Emerald that Robotnik had on the ship, and it would have rolled over to Sonic. That would have made a lot more. You still could have given the speech, but it made sense why he powered up. Not just the power of friendship raises you to new levels.
Hey, if Goku can do that, all right, I think that Sonic should be able to.
And
get
that's
a
why
pass.
Dragon Ball is a terrible show. Thank you for my TED Talk.
Oh my goodness.
My second problem is that in order to fix the whole entire agency issue, just cut the bar fight out and just make it a continuous chase scene through until they get to the city. And then what it should basically revolve around is whatever policeman name is. I think his name was Tim? Which one was it? Tim?
You mean the main guy?
Yeah.
I believe, to quote Robotnik best, he said that his name is Tom, but sometimes his dentist calls him Tim.
Wow, you really went that long just to say that.
Yes, I did. Robotnik is me. Essentially, he's my guy, man.
You wish.
That sass, that level of sass is something that you can't get anywhere else.
You don't
mean
have
girl
that
energy.
level of mean girl.
Oh, don't I?
No.
Oh, don't I?
You don't.
I do.
No.
I do.
Then be mean girl right now.
It's kind of hard to be mean girl right now when there's nothing to be mean to.
Oh, that's wild. Okay, you ain't know anything about me being a mean girl. Okay, but anyways, cut out the travel time and just focus more. Have Tim try and find it made no sense that the bags were just there and nobody went up to check it. Like, I'm pretty sure a security camera would have caught that. Just have someone take the bag, and then the whole thing revolves around trying to find the bag. Robotnik's now trying to find the bag while also trying to beat them. It works a little bit better in my head. I just feel like, at least to keep the sense of agency, compress down the travel time, because, let's be honest, it took them 2 days. We didn't need a whole extra 5 scenes in the middle of it just to make the bonding real, because I feel like by doing that, you lost contact with the female character who, honestly, I feel they could have done a lot more with her.
They could have, but you know this was supposed to be a movie that built up the relationship between...
Alright, so camera acted up.
Little technical difficulties.
Yeah. Another like little nitpick is just like, I feel like ever since Deadpool did the whole, well, you're probably wondering how we got to this point, and so everybody starts doing the backtrack thing.
Well, that started way before Deadpool.
I know, but Deadpool repopularized it.
Agree to disagree. He's one of the people who helped to make it use more, but he's not the number one person to do that. It's something that's been around for a while.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the repopularization, because nobody was using that for a long time.
Yeah, maybe not in big name movies, but TV shows, maybe TV movies, but not...
because they're referencing the old movies when they used to do it. This is...
Yeah.
Anyways, I wouldn't do that. It felt weird. Would you watch the movie again?
Of course I would. I was actually thinking about watching the movie probably the next week. And I don't really do that a whole lot with movies these days. And that's a lot, because movies be expensive, right? And people sometimes don't have that kind of money to be going out and seeing a movie at 1 a.m. after they've stuffed their faces with food. And they say, what can I do now? Oh, I'll watch the Sonic movie for the 3rd time in a row. But I would.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I still stand by that. A lot of things that could have been improved. Definitely would watch again.
I give it a 8.5.
That's way too high.
I don't think you have the right to tell me what to give it based on my score. You got your score. Let me give it the score I feel it deserves. At least it wasn't a 10 out of 10. Even I had some gripes with the movie. 8.5.
Nobody's saying it's a 10 out of
10. 8.5.
Yeah, if you guys like this sort of content and want me and Shen to do more movie reviews or more reviews and things in general, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, tell us that you want us more, because then you end up telling us, hey, we should actually put some amount of money into continuing this series. And anything else? I'm cutting that out. I'm just cutting that out. Okay.
Why?
I'm cutting that out. Thanks for listening or watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Alright, y'all. Peace and bacon grease.